All right, I forgot the ads again, so here we go. The first one we got for you, dear listener, is Pugna. It's spelled Pvgna. Sometimes people mess that up, but that's how it is. Because in older, the V was actually like a U, so it's like some kind of older business going on. It's cool. Anyway, so it's online, believe it or not, and it's good. There's just like a lot of Dota, like really good Dota players, and they have like videos. So not podcasts. So we're not like in direct competition. So it's okay if you cheat on us with them, but it's not cheating because they're video stuff. So it's everything's okay. But it's like good people, it's good players. They do good stuff. Pugna's cool. We've met their people. We like their people. Hence why this is kind of going on. Yeah, I should probably talk about the service. Right. Yeah, so there's a ton of shit. It's like a lot of hero guides and stuff. Like if you like the super in-depth Patreon kind of stuff that we've been doing, it's very similar to that. Like it's very specific, like tips and tricks and how to do shit at like an actual level instead of just like, oh, here, build these items. These are the items you build. Have fun with it. Like, doesn't help. In-depth video. That's some good shit. Anyway, you can try out Pugna with a full pro subscription for 30 whole days. 100% free. 100% free, not 3. And the promo code is FOURTH, FOURTH. Yes. And also they're on Twitter at PVGNA, aka Pugna, and the website is PVGNA, aka Pugna.com. All right, goodbye. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Teach You Tuesday, where we teach you about every Tuesday. With me is, I'm reading the name here, it's B with a lot of E's. That was the chosen login. And I am Fourth Spirit. That's my name on this program we're using. So yeah. That's
your name now.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. It's snowy in the UK.
Yeah, it was snowy here too, which was weird because I thought the planet was melting, but clearly that's no longer the case because snow happened.
Yeah, and it rarely snows here, so it was extremely exciting.
Well, that's good.
And it also happened over the weekend when I was at a LAN party, which my friends were calling the Winter Wonderland. So,
that's clever.
And then, because it snowed, it was even more magical and Christmassy, so that was exciting.
Yeah, I love snow. It's like great and fluffy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hoped it was going to happen even more, so then we would all be snowed in because...
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, and then I thought, 3-day LAN, but it didn't happen, unfortunately, so what can you do?
Yeah, life sucks.
Yeah, but it was pretty good. How are things with you? Did you... How's the snow where you are? Is it lots?
It melted. It was a small amount. It didn't really stick because it was like 36 degrees, which is Fahrenheit, which is less.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's slightly above freezing. So
okay.
Yeah, so it didn't because it was above freezing. Yeah, I've had some family over, so I've been doing that and not playing Dota, which has been kind of shitty. But beyond that, it's been good. I've been playing a fuck ton of Doom. That's really all I do now. I just play Doom and Queen of Pain and Juggernaut and Luna, and that
sounds pretty fun.
Revenge, I guess. Yeah, it's a good time. I won a game on Gyrocopter, which was like Gyrocopter's he's good, but for whatever reason, Sam and I both, like whenever we're in a game where there's a Gyrocopter, we just fucking lose. It doesn't matter how good the gyro is or how great our team is. It's just the hero is cursed and incapable of winning. But I won a game, so maybe now the hero's now okay. We'll see. So
yeah, I've had a couple of games against him, and he seems incredibly annoying.
Yeah, he's good and strong. I just don't win with him for some reason. But now I did, so it's okay.
Well, that's good.
Thank you. All right. So let's questions. All right. We'll start out with this question from our good friend Trogdor. I'll read this out. It says, "Hello, good people of Fourth Spirit, comma, Trogdor here, comma." That's a cool, like it's 2 intros. You don't often see that. It's a double whammy. "Love the show! Exclamation. Had a couple of questions. First, I was wondering if you had any insight into developing as a team. I regularly play with an amateur squad, and it's been a blast. in parentheses. Shout out to the Boish on Dire Straits. I think that's just supposed to be boys, but there's an H here. So the Boish on Dire Straits. And it's helped a ton. Okay. Any insight to building upon success in a team? Good team practices we could engage in. And then also a nice line about how I talk about him a lot in in-houses, and he wants me to adopt him and his wife, which wouldn't go well for anyone. So I don't think I'm in a financial position to do that. Okay, so Guess only had one serious question, but then he praises us, which is really cool. And then he says thanks, and then he signs it Trogdor because that's the name that it matters for here. Okay, yeah. So
I think we answered this last week, actually.
Did we?
Maybe. But it'd be interesting to.
I didn't listen to last week because I was supposed to do last week and I didn't, and so I just felt ashamed and just didn't want to listen to it. But why would you answer a question that was clearly aimed at me?
Well, in the doc that I'm looking at, it's split into two parts.
Oh,
there's a proud specific one, which is the adoption bit, and then there's the other bit, which is about team building. But I'm interested to hear what you'd say about team building.
One of the best things that I've had for like getting teams organized is I have this fabled the document, and it's like it's just like an organizing Google Sheets thing, and it's just like it's got everyone's name on it and a bunch of different blocks. And one is, okay, you list all of your best heroes, you color code them based upon what role they are, and you list out like in what order that they're like good ones for you. Then there's another section that's like anytime you just think of a good hero combo or team composition or just anything you want to like mix into the team, you just like write it in there, and it's got like nice little format, so you can just like keep copy pasting it to put more and more entries in there. And you can also schedule, like it's got a schedule on it, so you write down when your next like games and all that shit are. So I'd highly recommend having a Google document that, or like not just a Google document. That's just like fucking words. You want like a Sheets thing, and have it all formatted nicely, and just like have everyone list out like their top 15 heroes, and say what roles they are ideally. And that can make drafting a ton easier. And then if anyone just like sees something that they like, putting that down there also like lets your drafter, not have all the pressure on them. And like one of the best things for teams is that everyone wants to feel like it's like their team, right? Because then they'll put more effort into it rather than they just like show up and someone drafts them a hero and then they log off. So I would emphasize trying to get as many people's interpretation of how to play the game implemented into the games you play as possible. Also just like regular group practices, because like amateur Dota, like as far as tournaments go, aren't super reliable. Like I think whenever I play amateur, about 66% of my games just don't happen because someone doesn't show up or someone tries to reschedule and you can't reschedule and it's shitty. But like, I have about as much fun doing like, just like queuing for ranked games as 5, like 3 times in a row. And like, that's normally about as good practice as, playing in a fucking tournament, because the tournament might just be like, oh, it's a stack of, 7Ks or whatever, and we're a bunch of 2Ks, so we just like lose automatically. That was super fun. Just emphasize playing often. Try to make sure everyone has some input on what's going on, and even if they're not like a drafter person, just like their general understanding of how to play the game or how they like the game to be played by them. And then you just try to synthesize all that shit. I hope that was helpful. And again, I'm not going to adopt you. I'm poor. Give me money. Can you adopt me? Fuck. All right. That's that. You have any opinions, Beedub?
I mean, last week I was just saying, talking is really good.
Yeah, communication is good.
Just after a game, I think actually that was like, I'm kind of like stealing what he said last week, but
yeah,
communication
I'd be really curious what Ursi would say on how to make a team better. Because that's like, I don't know, fucking asking a fire, like how to make things wet. It's like not, anyway.
And also like being honest with your teammates, but then we kind of like,
that.
well then it was
advice.
kind of like being honest, but in like a diplomatic way, if possible. And also like,
don't be honest, because all your teammates suck and there's no way around it. Don't tell them that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that would be bad if you told your teammates that they suck.
Yeah, that's Ursi's strat. He's a piece of shit. Anyway. All right. So that's that question. We'll move on. So what do we got? B.
I mean, I'm not sure whether we're looking at the same document anymore, but the next one I
don't even have that document because my computer blew up, so I don't have anything.
I see. All right. So the next question we have is from...
We have more.
It's HKUN. Is that like H-kun or like H-kun? Or I'm not sure how you say that, but it's... yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is the correct pronunciation.
Yeah. Can you say it again?
What? The name?
Yeah.
Do you want me to spell it out or do you want me to say it?
No, I mean, I feel like you owe Kun the pronunciation. Like, they bothered to write us a question.
Maybe I'll pronounce it as Hukken. I also don't want to be too loud because there are people sleeping upstairs.
Okay, that's fair.
So that's going to be, yeah. Next time we'll record earlier and I can shout as much as I want. Okay. So the question that they're asking is, what is your ideal 9 slots on a carry like Juggernaut?
Ooh, there's a good question. All right, so it's always going to involve, I was going to say Rapier. It's always going to involve Refresher Orb because Refresher is way too good. And you want to think of like your ideal 6 fighting items and then whatever set of things Rapier can help you abuse. So pretty much every time you get that far in the game, there's going to be, between Solar Crests, Halberds, Radiances, Butterflies, like there's going to be some shit going on. So you definitely want an MKB somewhere in there. So let's see. Let's get my Juggerbean. And we've got MKB, and then Juggernaut's an Agi hero. So like most Agi heroes, you don't actually really want boots once you're that like far up, especially if you're like a Manta style hero. So like if I put this Juggernaut at 25 with just a Manta and no boots, I'm at 343 speed, and that's not bad. I'm moving at a pretty decent speed. If I want to add on like phase boots or whatever, yeah, I go up to about 400, and I activate them at almost 500. But I'd rather have like a butterfly or a rapier than another like 40 movement speed, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay. So MKB, you definitely always want butterfly because you want to force them to need an MKB so that they also can do somewhat inefficient items. There's like a couple ways to go about it because I love the Battle Fury Divine Rapier. I think that's just the fucking bee's knees and it's great and amazing. But okay, so we're gonna throw Rapier, or we're gonna throw Refresher in here. All right, Abyssal because that item is necessary. I feel like even you might just want Blink. Silver Edge for sure, because if you're not gonna have Blink, you need something to move around or to get places unexpected. And once game is at 9 slot, people don't have a lot of detection. Oh God, what else? What's like the last? A Soul Curse maybe? Scotty. I mean, it's super game dependent, right? Like when you're dealing with 9 slots, but I would say like a pretty good baseline would be, all right, let's add a Scotty in here and see how that looks. All right. So I've got like a Manta, a Monkey King Bar, Butterfly, Abyssal, Silver Edge, Scotty, and it's pretty good. I don't feel like I do a lot of damage. You know what I mean? I got like 270 damage. It's not as much of a number as I was hoping for. But I don't know. Like, you got to get Rapier, I think. I don't think there's another way to do it. It's the best. Why would you not? If you have gold for 9 slots, you have gold for 2, a Rapier and a backup Rapier. All right, so we have these items. We're gonna drop our Manta style because we don't quite need it. And we're gonna put in a Rapier, and that feels really good. Now we've got a bunch of damage, and we're gonna put our Manta in our pocket. And Travel's in our pocket. I think that's good to have. And yeah, I think that's good. And you can just swap in your Manta for your Scotty or your Manta for your MKB before you use it. And then like, oh, okay, I use my Manta. Then you swap the other item back in. And also with the big thing with the Refresher and the Omni Slash is like, as soon as like you use it, you can swap out. As soon as you use Omni, you'll swap out your Silver Edge for your Refresher Orb, and then you can use the Refresher and you'll get, 28 Omni Slashes, which is a pretty good number. And if you want to do AoE damage with all that, maybe, I don't know, swap out your Scotty for Battle Fury, because you're probably going to have that from the start of the game anyways, and that cleave is honestly just fucking vicious if you're inside of like an army of mega creeps and you're cleaving divine rapiers everywhere. Like, it's good stuff. Yeah, so I don't know, man. Put a divine in there. Put a divine in there. If you need MKB, put it in there. But like the essentials, I don't think I would want to play Jug without an Abyssal Blade, honestly, just because it's so necessary for most kills that you get late game on a Juggernaut. So many people have ways to get out of your Omni Slash. You need to just stop them as much as you can. Even if they have a Lincoln's, still the proc from your from the bash is going to get some good stuff. But yeah, definitely have a Butterfly in there. If you need to replace your Blink Dagger, do so with a Silver Edge, so you still have some way to sneak up on people. And Breaks is also a very good thing. Try to have an Abyssal Blade. I highly recommend Rapier. I really fucking do. It's such a good thing to have. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm like kind of slow right now in this fight, but like, whatever. It's fine. You have a Rapier. Like, what do you need move speed for? I have a Silver Edge to move around. That's fine. And then also just like use the Butterfly active very often, and that makes up for that a little bit. And if you really want to move, like, swap my boots or swap my Battle Fury for my Boots of Travel, and then once I'm like about to fight and shit, then I'll swap my Travels back in, or my Battle Fury back in. So yeah, like 9 slot is all about, you want the Refresher, and then like 2 things that are going to work really well with the Refresher, and then a core of 6 or so items, and ideally 2 of those items in the core are going to be Battle Fury and Rapier, because you're a person who listens to me play Juggernaut, and that's all I do now. So that's that. Okay. Is there another question?
There's a couple, actually. We have a couple. How many more do you want to do?
Let's do one more.
Let's do one more. Okay, so Kruger has
time at the end.
2, which we maybe will leave because they seem quite big ones, so we might leave those for another time.
Okay.
But there's one from One Sky Red, my friend.
Okay.
She was talking to me about, because she has fairly limited time. She's like a nurse, does long shifts, right? And she was saying, how do you get better if you have a limited time? Like, what's the best thing for her to focus on? And I was like, you know what? I actually don't know. So what kind of advice, what general advice do you have there? If you have limited time, what's the best thing for you to focus on that would kind of help improve your game?
So if you have limited time to devote to Dota, period, as in like you can't like look at streams or, like watch a replay or watch a game or something like that, and it's purely just like all I can do is play, nothing else, I would say if you have a hero that you definitely want to play, go to, it's dotamastery.io, and try to just look for a game that, it's pretty self-explanatory, but like you enter a hero and it'll show you whatever games have been played recently by high MMR players, and just like go to that, it'll tell you the match ID, then you just go into like Dota and then watch and then replays, and you just enter the match ID and you'll see it. And this is specifically for if there's one hero that you want to play, and just like watch the first 5 minutes of it, or 5 to 10 minutes maybe at like 1.5 times speed, and just kind of skim through that, and you'll see like, okay, these are like the exact actions that they take. Try to replicate that in your next game that you play those heroes. That's what I've been doing with the Arc Warden recently, because I was like, Arc Warden should be good, but I'm just like I'm not getting it together. Like, what's the common like method of success that Arc Wardens are getting? And it seems like a lot of the time they're doing okay on the last hitting. They use their Spark Wraith a lot for last hitting, which I started to do more, which seems good. But the main thing is they just always get kills and always have rotations. And I'm like, okay, so if I'm not going to have someone who can help me like rotate with Arc Warden, I probably shouldn't pick it. But that's only because like I watch someone way better than me, and like, what is the exact thing that's happening? They're getting rotations and they're getting kills. So unless I'm getting that exact thing, I'm not going to try this. Like, it's really important to like things in Dota are really formulaic early game. Like, you're always going to want to do one thing on a certain hero. Like, I'm Juggernaut, I'm going to want to last hit until I can run on you and spin, and I'm just going to keep zoning the offlaner with my spin. Yeah. That's every like high level joke player you see, they're going to do some variation of that. But if you watch, like, if you're playing Juggernaut, you're like, oh, why is my lane always so hard? And it's like, well, you're just like last hitting and getting punched. You're not just being super aggressive with the spin like other people are. But yeah, just like 5 minutes, find the replay, skip through it, and see that. And then beyond that, I feel like a lot of it is a kind of mindset thing. Like, there is some times when I play Dota where I just like refuse to lose, and I'll like do a lot better and notice things a lot more. But then there are some times when I'm lazy where, I'm just like choosing to not click around the map everywhere and check everyone's items and doing like a bunch of crazy ass stuff just because I just don't want to. But if you have pretty limited time, the big thing I would say is like get yourself excited to play and have something very specific that you want to play for. Because if you're trying to get better and you're just like queuing up randomly, you don't really know what your goal is. That's gonna not lead to a lot of growth or whatever. But if your idea is, okay, I'm gonna play support and I'm gonna make sure I play like and I watched someone play this hero on support. And what they did is they like, went around the creep wave, harassed the offlaner until like, 47 seconds or to like a minute 10. And then they went back, did a pull and then a pull through it exactly this timing. And then they went back to harassing and then they got the rune at, 2 minutes and then got the rune again, the enemy rune at 2 minutes. And I'm going to pull off that exact like tactic and get it down. And like, if you do that, that's like, that's that particular part of the game you just played at, like a 5K or 6K level or whatever. But if you are just kind of doing whatever, like, oh, I'm going to try to play as well as I can, maybe you like, play it like 500 MMR better than you normally do just through sheer effort, but you don't really know what you're doing. So yeah, just try to dotamastery.io, really good website. Find a hero that you want to play, watch how it is like perfectly executed, look at the ending item build or whatever, and just try to replicate that. I think that's probably the best way to go around it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just try hard as shit. Like click everyone's items all the time. Keep clicking around the minimap if you're not doing shit, or if you're last hitting, like every time after a last hit, press stop on your character and like look at another lane and then go back to your character. Like if you're being very active and like your brain is, frantically trying to look for more and more things to do, you'll get there. It's like you're all fucking like activated and opened and just everything is flooding into you.
Yeah.
So try that, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, this website looks really great, actually. I've been on it before.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember looking at it going, oh, yes, this would be really useful. And I actually haven't still used it yet, but I'll keep it up in a tab. Yeah, this looks really, really helpful.
Yeah, I forgot about it a while ago. Skrunk showed me it, but it came up again randomly, and like, yeah, this is it's a fantastic website. I very much recommend it. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Do you have any opinions on that? Because I mean, you actually play a pretty decent amount. It doesn't seem like you're incredibly time limited on the amount of Dota you can play.
No, I can play a fair amount. I think though, like what you were saying about like your mentality going into games though. I think this kind of follows very well into the next topic that we were going to discuss, is like being in a Dota slump, which is how I feel at the moment. And like, just like my mentality, admittedly, going into these games hasn't been particularly great since I calibrated. When I was calibrating, I was kind of like really pumped. I was like, yeah, I'm going to finally see what I am. And then I was kind of disappointed with the results. And I don't know, from then I kind of just feel like every time I queue up, and I would say I think it is like 100% most definitely my fault. Like I kind of go in, not really sure what I'm doing, kind of going, oh, well, I'll just kind of pick whatever. I mean, most of the time I am playing support, but yeah, getting out of that slump is just hard. I've kind of lost sight of what my goals are. I kind of came into this going like, oh, I really want to play carry. And then I've kind of just, I don't remember the last time I played a core role. I've kind of reverted just back to kind of like mindlessly picking supports.
Yeah.
Which, actually, I played my first Doom game the other day.
Oh, yeah? How'd it go?
It was okay.
How'd you do with my boy?
We lost. It was all right.
These things happen.
It was okay. I'm not that confident on the hero anyway. It was just kind of silly, just messing around anyway with like a stack. But I would say the majority of like my kind of solo queue games have been pretty disheartening. How do you get out of a Dota slump? What do you do?
Well, I'm always in a slump one way or another. But I find the best thing to do is one, remember to take your meds. That's a good place to start. But if you already got that one taken care of, the biggest thing is like you want to have something that you're excited to play. Not just one, like a couple things. Because if you're just excited to play like no Battle Fury Anti-Mage for some fucking reason, and your whole team is like, my God, do not pick Anti-Mage. This is a terrible game for it. And then you're like, but that's what I wanted to do. That's what, then you're going to get, it's not going to be a good idea. But like have a couple things that you're excited to play in various roles. And it's even better if it's something that you can very easily first pick and not get contested on. I'm really happy with the way my Doom has been going lately. And I've been playing super well on him. And I first pick Doom pretty much every game I play him. Cause like someone needs to first pick, might as well be me, because I'm gonna play Doom. I'm just not gonna not play Doom. But yeah, like between let's see, I've been like playing well on Jug lately. I've been interested. My supporting on Venge has been going great, so I'm excited to play her and keep getting better at it. And like, oh hey, Luna's really good, and Morphling is really good. So those are two carries that I'm looking at, like excited to try out. Or not try out, but just like play more. So when I'm going into a game and I want to like be excited, I think like, okay, if I have to third pick a carry, I'm gonna like third pick Luna. If I have to pick early, I'm gonna play Doom. If all the lanes are moused over or whatever, I'm gonna play Venge or maybe Shadow Shaman, because he's really good and I haven't touched him in a while. But like the big thing is you need to be like pumped and excited to play, because if you just like queue randomly and you're like, I guess this looks like, I guess this is like a good Pugna game. And then you pick Pugna and you're just like, I don't fucking want to play. I don't give a shit about this fucking baby. This is stupid and dumb. Well, look at him. But yeah, like you have to have something you actually like want to do. And the way that I mostly get hyped for playing a hero is like, if there's a hero I have like a cursory interest in, either like watching a replay through Dota Master is a good way to do it. There's like a D2 Bowie guide or something. Those are really good. He's been on the show before. We very much like that nice young man. Just like you gotta get hype. Yeah. Even just go to the watch tab in Dota and just look at live, and then just like click around at some of the high tier games. And just, pretty much all of them that are listed on the front page are going to be high tier. And just like, oh hey, look, this person's playing this hero. This let me click on in game and just like look what they're doing. Like, oh, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think look at it. That's some good advice. Like, because that's definitely how I've been kind of like queuing up. I'm kind of like, well, I got some time, might as well play some Dota, and then I'm just feeling a little bit like apathetic about it. Queuing, I'm not hype. I need to get the hype back, but yeah,
you gotta get the hype. There's no way around it.
Okay, so I gotta watch some replays. Actually, and that's like, I think you touched on it a little bit.
Not like don't like spend time watching. Just like watch the first 5 minutes in depth, and then just like if something happens or there's a big fight, like see what they do. Okay. But don't like don't like bore yourself from it, right? You just want to like only look at what's interesting.
And like something else like you were saying is like kind of know what you were thinking about playing, like have an idea of something you'd like to do, which is something that I haven't really been doing. I'm sitting there kind of going, okay, well, I'm probably going to play support because no one seems to want to. And then we kind of go into a game, no one's mousing over any lanes. You might get one person mousing over mid maybe. And then I'm kind of going, hey, what's the going? Like, how's it going? Who wants to play where? And no one's talking. And I'm like, oh, like, okay, fine. I guess I have to first pick something. And it's kind of like that. Knowing what to like first pick is tough, because then I'll just kind of like panic pick like a CM or something, and she's squishy.
Yeah, she's bad, as I've always said on this show. CM fucking sucks. I definitely like having things in your mind to pick early is very important. Also, like, even with Doom, like, if I pick offlane Doom and then someone picks offlane and they're like, I wanted offlane the whole time, I just didn't tell you. Like, I'm fine playing for Doom. I'm not happy with it, but I'll fucking do it. I'll just get boots and run around places and talk about Satan or whatever I do. I had something else that I was going to say instead of that, but I kind of forgot what it was. What was the overarching question again?
Dota slump?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I guess, what is the subsection we are currently in? That was probably the wrong phrasing.
People not knowing what to pick and you having to first pick and not knowing what you want to play before queuing up, like not having any idea.
Right.
Of
yes.
Like,
yeah.
You there? You got it?
You gotta be excited about playing something. There's no way around it. Like, you can't just play Dota 2. Like, then you just get fucking, like, there's so much to do in this game that you kind of get paralyzed by it, and you're like, what if the thing I'm doing right now, like, doesn't matter? Like, if I used to just play a ton of, like, I don't know, fucking who's just incredibly shitty. Who's just the worst? Who's just the worst thing ever? If I just, like, spent all my time learning to play Crystal Maiden or whatever, but I never actually, or like all my supporting games, I just like, oh, I don't know, I guess I'll just like pick Crystal Maiden. And then when it actually came time to support, I'm like, oh wait, Crystal Maiden sucks. Then I'd be like, damn, I just like wasted all my time because I didn't really put any thought into what support I wanted to get good at. But, you know, now that I've put all this time in Venge, like, I know kind of no matter what, Venge is going to be at least a somewhat viable hero, and she's got like some cool shit. Like, Swap is a very fun ability to be good on. She can kind of transition into doing some right-clicky stuff, which is, I mean, obviously she's not going to turn into a core, but there's just like interesting aspects about her character that I know I'm going to, because I don't play a lot of support, but I know if I play a couple ones a shit ton, like, I'm gonna, it'll be fulfilling to like do well on a Venge.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm just going into a game and like, you know, picking randomly, and trying to pick, you know, whatever hero fits the game or something, there's a good chance that it's just not, I'm not even going to be good at them, and I'm not going to enjoy myself. And you only, like, the reason that every person who is good at Dota is because they, like, fucking love every single time they've played the game, whether it's, you know, rage induced or not. Like, they love playing Dota 2. And if you're playing Dota 2 and not doing what you want to be doing, you shouldn't be playing. Like, you should be doing something else that you want to do. So
it's true.
Yeah, it's like, have something you want to do and fucking do it. But have a couple things that you want to do, because sometimes you can't do the one thing you want to do. So yeah, that's my advice about that.
Okay. I've been having some like success.
I remember
with Spirit Breaker. Oh, what were you gonna?
I remember what I was gonna say. Because I feel like some of the times when you were most excited about Dota is when you were very specifically playing PA.
Yes.
And you were like doing well at it. But I feel like you've been directionless in your core learnings since then. I have. And I feel like that's a big part of why you haven't been playing core that much.
And I think Dota has become less fun because of it.
Yeah,
like, I was having so much fun.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going to calibrate and I'm going to go back to support. And now I'm just not having fun. Except for Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker's fun, but he's not really support. But he seems to be the only other kind of hero I'm playing.
No, he's a 4.
Yeah, he's a 4. He is a 4. Yeah, he is. I guess so. Yeah. He's not like, I guess when I say support, I mean like a 5. Like, I've been pretty much just playing a 5.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would definitely say is stop picking Crystal Maiden if that's a thing that you do.
I mean, I did play her a couple of games ago.
If you're with like you won that game too.
Did.
If you're with like a Storm, it's okay, but she sucks. It's fucking bad.
Like, the only, like, she's tough because she's so squishy, right? But it just seems to be the way that big team fighty kind of supports seem to work well in the, like, MMR bracket I'm in. I don't know, like,
yeah. I mean,
because people don't know how to really react to it, and then you just get kills, you know, like, or you help out with kills, like. And that just seems to be something that, like, Witch Doctor, I've been playing a couple of games of which actually I've lost the last I lost the last 2 games of Witch Doctor I played, actually. Yeah.
I would say, like, if you do want the team fighty kind of supports, like, Disruptor is always amazing. He's kind of one of my go-to team fight supports, because it's like, his ulti combo can basically be the effect of a black hole. Like, obviously, it's not always going to be a black hole, but, you can lock down, 5 people inside of, like, a pit for 4 seconds where they can't do anything. Like, that's what a black hole is. So it has that potential, but it's a way shorter cooldown. Also, Ancient Apparition feels pretty good to get stuff on. Dark Willow is just fucking amazing. So, I mean, she's also fun as shit. So if you're, like, playing support and you're kind of bored, learn how to play Dark Willow because she's incredibly fun.
Okay.
Like, she's wild fucking fun.
Yeah, I haven't played her since she kind of first came out, and I was like, oh, I'm going to play her a couple of times, and then I've just kind of stopped thinking about it.
She takes some getting used to, especially in figuring out, like, what skills to max for what game, and her ultimate is, like, fucking amazing. But, yeah, I mean, she's really good. I definitely recommend, like, trying her out as far as other supports to get, to have fun with. Disruptor also is another good one to have fun with. And
Disruptor's incredible.
Shadow Shaman, of course. Shadow Shaman is like still a wildly strong hero. So, and he also, I mean, I would consider Serpent Ward something of a team fight ulti. At the very least, it causes actions to take place in the game because it's like, oh, my wards are up, let's push.
Yeah,
and then if your team sucks, you can just do it yourself, and then you make a lot of space or get a tower for free, which is also good.
Yeah, I think one thing I should stop doing is playing ranked, just for a little bit.
Yeah, I would.
Just stop.
I would just. Like, once you get comfortable with something that you want to do, then, like, go back to ranked or whatever. Because winning ranked feels really good, but losing it obviously doesn't.
I've gone
so
back.
So if you know that...
Yeah. I've gone down. I think I've gone below where I first calibrated because I've just been kind of losing.
Yeah. I mean, I've lost 800 MMR in like a week. Don't worry about that. It comes back when you need it to.
It's a bit painful.
It's a little bit painful.
You'll get it back. You'll be fine.
Eventually, yeah. I mean, I've gotten my phases back repeatedly, but it's, every so often you have a bad week and it's like, let's just give it all away to someone that needs it more than I do. And then, you get it back in the next month or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's, but I think that's its own little thing on trying to get you back on that horse of the, of what cores to play. Because that's more of a personalized thing, but I will put thought into it. And you should as well. Like, PA is still good. It's just you go Battle Fury now.
Oh, really?
And that's yes. PA, you go like most people. They go RTC really likes treads right now, but most people it's like Phase, Wand, Battle Fury, Aquila. I think most people go Aquila. No, maybe it's just Phase, Wand, Battle Fury, and then either way, maybe you can get Aquila, maybe you don't. Depends if you want the Basior. And then you just get. And then it's just the old builds. You just get Desolator and then BKB and then Abyssal.
Okay.
Or, Basher, then BKB, then Abyssal, however you want to do it. But yeah,
fun.
it's just like the old builds, but you add Battle Fury in because it's really good.
Battle Fury's fun, so.
Yeah, and you farm a ton, so you actually are going to like guaranteed to scale, but you don't do nearly as much burst. But anyway, that's I mean, yeah, she's still okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Unicorn too. Believe it or not, that one's also going to get a little bit of a plug here. That's UNIKRN. You know how it goes, and it is your premier esports outlet. There's that betting thing with all the tokens. You can get them just by playing, which is cool because we like to play. That's why we're here. And it's legal. It's free. It's free to play. It's legal. It's just good stuff. It's just tokens. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry if you get addicted. It's just tokens. There's other stuff. It's not just for that. There's like articles and actual like pro analysis and things. Like, it's good stuff. You want to learn Dota 2? Unicorn can help you do that. Dota also too. I was going for a rhyme, didn't really work out. Yeah, and you can also get gold by playing CS:GO as well as Dota. So like, if you dabble, they support you too. And LOL, but like what? Okay. Yeah, so you win cosmetic items, which is cool. So like you get them free tokens and then you get cosmetics, which is really all anyone should want in life. Anyway, you can get more at unikrn.com/connect, CONNEKT. Yes, I go long on these ads. I'm sorry. Hey, also, here's an ad for us. Patreon, please. we recorded new episode for the $5 tier. You get the in-depth hero stuff. We just did Wyvern. We've done OD, now we did Wyvern, and you're not going to hear a fucking second of it unless you give us $5 now. Okay.
So I want to talk about. I have quite a specific questions about slows, and how they stack, whether they stack. Like, because I was thinking, like, I just don't really know how they work, really. Like, yeah, tell me about it. So, like, I guess, like, so, like, for an example, like, if I'm playing with like my brother, for example, he'll be playing like an Ursa safe, and I'll be kind of supporting with a Skywrath. And obviously, we both have slows, right? Like, how do those work together? Is it because they're both like, yeah? How would those work? So like Ursa Earthshock with like the Skywrath like concussive shot. If you use them at the same time, does that stack?
Sorry, I was doing some math real quick.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
yeah. So, what was the exact situation that you asked?
So I was
sure
using the specific example. Like, it doesn't have to be about the specific example, but the specific example I was using was Ursa Earthshock with the Skywrath concussive shot.
Yeah, so the way that slows stack is they do stack. So like, let's say the thing I did earlier just to make sure was I was Jakiro and I attacked someone with an axe with an orb of venom.
Okay, yeah.
And then their slow was reduced by a bit, and then I put on my Q, my dual breath, and then it slowed them further. And then as soon as the orb of venom wore off, they gained a little bit of movement speed back, but they still had the amount that they lost from the dual breath. So they do scale. I'm pretty sure it's just you just keep multiplying it, because it doesn't matter what order the multipliers go in. But most slows are like, they lose 30% movement speed. So let's say they have 400 movement speed, they lose like 120 or something. I think that was right. Anyway, yes, they lose 120 move speed. And then if they were hit by something that reduced their move speed by 10%, then they would lose like, I think 40. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how they mix. I know that they do. I could test it real quick, but I don't really want to.
Okay.
But either way, the point is, the more slows you add, the better. It's like Veno, if you get like his, if you have Orb of Venom because you like harassing, and then you get his passive, and then you get. I mean, Gale is always going to put you at like 0. But yeah, any slows that you stack, it's going to be some good shit.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, well, that was a nice and easy question.
Yes, and also, side note, no unit can have below 100 move speed. That's kind of like
I see.
The absolute lowest.
Okay,
I didn't know that. When you get diffuseled, or you're walking through like Invoker's Wall or whatever, like you're put at the absolute lowest speed for a second, and you're like a crawl, and then you keep going up. Like you can't have 0 move speed. Like that's just how it works.
Oh, interesting. I didn't actually know that.
Fun facts.
Yeah. The next question I have was, what are good laners for someone thinking about kind of beginning to do some stuff in the offlane? Because at the moment, like, I played like a mediocre...
Doomers.
Oh, yeah, you're on the Doom hype.
Doomers. I like him. I like him a lot. I'd say Doom.
Any reason as to why? Other than just you like him a lot? Or is that it? It's just kind of it.
That's most of it, honestly. I mean, it used to be, like he's got Devour, he can jungle pretty early on, but he actually can't. Like, you eat the one creep, and then even just killing the small creep that's left over, you're like, fuck, I have a 2-0 base attack time. This sucks.
Actually, this is so when I was playing him in the other day, and like I don't really know a huge amount of Doom, so like it was just kind of like messing around. But something I was thinking about was, with the Devour, do you just stay in lane and devour a creep in your lane, or do you just kind of hop off over to a jungle camp, devour a jungle?
It depends, because all Devour really does is guarantee you a last hit and give you 25 gold, because you're not going to level it up for a long time.
Yeah.
But I mean, at level 1, I get Scorched Earth every time, because the jungle doesn't even spawn until a minute, so I'd rather have my escape and damage thing.
Yeah.
But then, then you kind of want to scout what creeps you have to work with. Like, if my hard camp has the Satyr with the HP regen aura, I'll walk back and I'll deal with that.
Okay.
But if there's no good creeps around, or I'm just unsure, I will just kind of like hold off until it's time to get a creep. Or, you know, if there's like, oh, this ranged creep is about to get denied, yeah, I'll blow a Devour just to make sure that I get that last hit and that experience. So you can look at it a few ways, but kind of just like hold it until there's something good to do. At worst, you give up 25 gold. That cost you 40 mana, so whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't really worry about using Devour unless it's like, you know, a necessary situation.
Sure.
But yeah, Doom is definitely good for it. One of the main things that I would focus on, if you're new to offlaning, you're probably new to most of the stuff that you're probably, you know, not dealing with a bunch of 6Ks. Like if you haven't played offlane yet, there's probably like certain heights that you haven't yet climbed to in your mastery of video game Dota 2 made by Valve. So one of the best things to do that people are doing right now is just pulling the enemy safe lane. And not pulling like with creeps or whatever, but I guess creep skipping is what it's typically called. And that's like you kind of you walk up to more or less where people pull the easy camp.
Okay.
And you look at your own safe lane and note when the creeps are almost to that gap. And then you run up there yourself, aggro the creeps. The enemies are probably, you know, like maybe blocking, or maybe they're not there at all. They're forward or something like that. But either way, like at level 1, not a lot of people have ways to just kill you, especially if you're Doom and you press Scorched Earth and you gain 14% move speed and 12 regen, which is another reason why I love him. But yeah, you just pull their shit, and then it'll be under your tower, and well, not really. You just like pull it, and then you keep running circles. Maybe you chug a tango or something. You just run circles in front of your tower, and then eventually your wave comes in. Hey, the wave is now right in front of my tower, but the enemy safe laner, since the wave meets so close to their tower, they're just going to be under tower, which sucks for them. So they're going to be under tower, and your wave is just going to die. They're probably not going to get any last hits because they don't have a Quelling Blade yet, and they're not very good at Dota 2. And then the wave just like meets in front of your tower, and bam, you got a bunch of free levels as an offlaner.
Yeah,
so that's something that I would focus on.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's what you would also learn, that if you were like, oh, I'm gonna play, I want to play like Centaur or Omni Knight, in the offlane position. I'm gonna go dotamastery.io and see like, oh hey, this Omni Knight bought a fucking Quelling Blade and literally tunneled from the safe lane secret shop or side shop like around the entire enemy tower and then popped out at that exact spot and pulled the wave, which is a thing people do. Like people buy Quelling Blades just to fucking literally tunnel like a quarter of the map and then just pop out and pull creeps. Yeah, it's incredibly special and cool.
I've never seen that. That sounds amazing.
It's relatively new that people are going to such lengths to like literally fucking tunneling. Like it's some funny shit to
hilarious.
Watch. Yes, it absolutely is. But yeah, like that's a good way to start an offlane, is you just learning how to pull things.
Okay.
And as far as offlaners to play, Centaur is always good. Clockwork is also always good. Omni Knight is really good right now, but I wouldn't recommend starting with him.
Okay.
I think Doom is good.
Would you recommend these offlaners? Are they like solo in the offlane, or do they have someone?
Yes, I would never
solo, right?
recommend any hero that is not solo in the offlane.
Right.
I would never recommend anyone play offlane anything but solo.
Okay.
For various reasons. If you wanted to do an aggro duo lane, you would need to have a very real reason to do it. And also, even if you do want someone to show up later to help your lane, it's almost always like the guaranteed experience you're going to get as an offlaner is going to be the first couple waves. If you get a good block or you get a good creep skip or something. Like if I'm offlaning and someone shares like the first wave or two of experience with me, like we might both be 3/4 through level 1, but we're just not level 2 now. And the enemy team is like all level 2 and we're still level 1 at like, 2.5 minutes. And we're just like, I'm like, what could you? I could be 2 right now. I could have Devour and Scorched Earth, and I could eat a creep and have a Satyr, and then we could both lane because I'd be very strong and I could make up for the fact that you're still level 1.
Yeah.
But if you share all the experience at the beginning, it just fucking sucks.
Okay.
So yes, be solo. Also, Tidehunter is always good. Like that kind of goes without saying. Like if you're a new offlaner, someone's got to pick you Tidehunter.
Yeah, that's kind of like
they have control.
The only offlaner that I can play all right, I think. I've been kind of like dabbling with Bristleback, but he's kind of difficult. I don't know, sometimes.
You just
kind of turn around and press W, so it's not too bad, but I don't know. Sometimes he can be a bit tough.
He's bad.
Okay. Just
a bad one.
Just out of interest, why?
Um,
And like,
what does he do?
Well, he has the slow, and he has the spiny things, and
but like, what if he's behind? Like, what does he do? He just dies. And then like,
Okay.
what if there's like a team fight and like they have like an enigma? What is
true.
he like? You get black hold
Okay.
and then just like, oh, our offlaner, save us with your big initiation, and he's just like, bah! And he just snots everywhere. Like, whoa. The fuck? Like, Centaur did a stampede and like a blink stun, and then Bristle's like, 80 damage, AoE, physical.
Okay.
If you guys keep standing here, it'll be 140 damage, and it'll keep going up. Watch out. What does he fucking do?
Okay, yeah. Fair point.
Nothing.
That was true. Very good point.
Okay. I mean, he's powerful. Like, if you get a triple kill in lane or whatever, yeah, he can snowball and be scary.
But I guess, like, there's just better offlaners to pick that do more, right?
Like, there's a chance that Bristleback might be really good, and you might actually just not need any lockdown on your team through some fucking, like, act of some divine being where the enemy just didn't pick anything that has any escape. But more reliably, like, there's never going to be a point in a game where I'm like, fuck, I wish we didn't have Centaur.
Yeah.
But there's definitely going to be a point in the game where, like, this Bristleback is worthless. He just dies. And even if he doesn't die, he just does damage slowly until we all die. And then they just, like, hold him down and just drain his mucus out until he doesn't have enough moisture in his body to live.
All right. Fair enough.
So this fuck him. He sucks.
Okay, I won't play him anymore.
Last time he was good, it was as a safe laner, and everyone still played him off lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on from the sneezy pig.
Right.
Best way to. Oh yeah. Okay. So like.
That's such a cute name.
Well, the sneezy pig.
Little sneezy pickles. Aw, fuck, he's cute. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to insult you. Fuck.
So, but still not allowed to play him. He might be cute now.
No,
but...
fuck, no. God, no.
All right.
Sucks.
So moving on. What to do when there's nothing to do, right?
Right.
So, you're in kind of mid-game and you're kind of... Laning's kind of over, but it's not really time to go high ground yet. And T1s are gone and you're kind of just walking about, not really sure what you're supposed to do.
You're kind of just like, I'm kind of bored.
Stroll,
like,
but...
is this, is this like, I'm just going to like play with myself until there's something to do? I have no idea what I'm going to do. And the answer is no. You always have a job. You're always employed in Dota 2. That's why you get passive gold, because you're on the fucking clock and you got to work for your ancient. Yeah. So there's always shit to do. So the biggest periods of inactivity or just a pure like loss of direction and purpose, which we all feel intermittently in our daily lives, is after all the tier 1s are down and there's no real easy tier 2 to take out. And after all the tier 2s are done and there's no easy way to high ground. And there's a few things to do. As a core, obviously the thing to do is farm. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna farm. And as a mid, what you're gonna do is you're gonna farm, but also try to be in position in case things occur or your team is trying to catalyze things to occur or instigate events. And as a support, that's the hardest part because you're like, do I farm? No, my carries are farming. Do I ward? I already placed the wards. What do I do? Yeah. And here's the answer. You sit. You find where your cores are. You look at them dead in the eye and you say, you stupid babungos. I'm going to sit behind you, and you just sit there like you're like a fucking one of those trap spiders, only much cuter. And you just like sit behind them waiting for anything to happen. You sit behind your cores, and you look at the whole map, and you're like, you are one node in the perfect defensive matrix, and you just need to find out where to best place yourself to protect things. So if you've got like a juggernaut that's always pushing up like slightly a little bit too far and then comes back, the best thing for you to do is just like always kind of be behind that juggernaut. And it's like if your mid is farming, you know, very very safely deep in the in your jungle, and your safe laner is going out, you're like, okay, I'm going to position myself around this juggernaut. Maybe I'll kill camps every so often. I'm near a rune that spawns, and if anything happens to this jug, I'll be able to help them out with like an ice path, or I'll swap them out with my venge swap or something like that, or I'll play Crystal Maiden and I'll fucking frost bite someone, and then they'll pop their manta and kill both of us because I'm a fucking worthless hero. And so that, like, you just kind of want to position behind them. And then the other thing is you just want to just like, and this kind of goes into like playing the game with your whole heart in it and with a good mindset. Because literally anytime I'm on a support, and this is like a, you know, there's not been a single support game I've played in, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks where I have not bought at least 20 sentries.
Yeah.
And the reason I do is I just like, if there's nothing to do, I just like fucking stare at the map and I just, you know, do my Zach Galifianakis thoughts when he's trying to count cards. Like that gift is just me. And I'm like, where are the wards? And I galaxy brain up and I just, you know, fucking Will Graham it. And I'm like, what? Let me get into the lives of these fucking serial killers and merge their consciousness into mine and figure out what I would have done in their shoes and then actively live through it vicariously and then place a sentry ward when I think they would have placed the observer ward. That's the way to do it. You always want to just be like running ideas through your head. Like if there's nothing to do, like, you know, like when was the last time you saw this hero? Where do you think they're going? How long do you think they're going to be going there? There's so much, like you get a flash of information and then just try to think how much you can glean off that. Like if I really want to, I can sit down in a game. Like if I'm really trying, I can see, okay, their Faceless Void farmed up to this point, and instead of time walking away or whatever, or blinking away or whatever, they just like walked slowly back this direction. And we have another ward like really far down, and it's been like, you know, like 10 seconds and I haven't seen that person there. So I know Faceless Void didn't just finish farming and then walk backwards. Faceless Void finished farming, felt safe because he didn't time walk, and then just, you know, like walked over to farm stuff. So what I can glean from that is, okay, there's farm here that Faceless Void is going to take. Because of that, their mid is definitely not in this area. Their mid is also not showing. Also, if Faceless Void is not with them, they're probably not smoke ganking. So through that, and I also don't see their mid in like or taking any lanes at all. So because of that, I know that, okay, Faceless Void is top, and he's going to be jungling through the top jungle. So their mid is almost certainly in their bottom jungle. And if that's the case, their supports are probably split somewhere between them. So like my side lanes are a pretty safe place to be farming, because it wouldn't make sense for their invoker to just be like fucking nowhere and then their supports are all the way out farming. Like there's a lot that you can figure out through one piece of information if you just think, oh, okay, how should this be working out? Unless the team you're fighting against is just fucking stupid and Faceless Void and an Invoker are like farming the same camps every so often. And in which case, I mean, hopefully you're just going to win because of that. Like, yeah, always assume your opponents are good, because if they're not, you're good, you're fine. Then there's no point, there's no worry.
True.
Always assume, you know, the worst or whatever. But yeah, just like fucking use your brain palace. You know what I mean? Just use it. Just sit behind people. Think about wards. Think about what wards you're going to need soon. Think about like when Roche could happen. Like people forget Roche all the time, but you know, think about that. But just like as a support, when there's nothing to do, you just need to fucking think a ton. You just got to be a thinker. You got to, you know, take your hand off the keyboard, get in that pose, sit on a rock or whatever, strip naked, and think.
All right.
That's what I do anyways. That's why I don't stream anymore. It would be against terms of service.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, what I have to sacrifice for buying 20 sentries, but it's worth it. But yeah, you just gotta do that. You
so like,
just fucking think.
When is it time for you to actually, like, I guess this isn't particularly like support based, but like when's the time to kind of stop just farming and following your core around, and like when does that end?
Once you see, the only way you're gonna know
is it
that
to go for like a pick off, and it's going for like deeper wards, right? It's only you can only do that if you have a deeper ward,
right? But that's a fact. But how do I? But I always know that there's no point in a game where I don't think I need to get a pick off, right? Like at no point am I like, I don't want pickoffs right now. I'm not interested in a kill. So you need to know when to do it, right?
Yeah.
And you know how you're going to figure out when? You're going to fucking strip naked and think it up. You're going to think.
Okay.
You got to think. So that's what you do. You sit there behind your cores and you see, oh, my Jugger Bean, he just finished farming and now he's got a blink. Probably not in most games at lower levels, but maybe he's got an Abyssal. Maybe he's got his Mantodon. I don't know. Maybe he's level 12 because he just hit level 12. Good job, Juggernaut. And as soon as you see that, you're like, okay, we saw that. I gleaned all this information. Oh, their mid is probably there. Faceless Void is farming back this way. And so I have a decent snapshot of what the enemy team is going to look like for the next 20 seconds. And my Juggernaut is now running back, and I'm next to him because I was sitting behind him the whole time because I'm in a good position. I wasn't just sitting in Timbuk fucking 2 farming a hard camp away from my team. And then I ping my smoke. I'm like, okay, guys, smoke here. And then you have all your wards on you because you're like, where's the next ward? I've been thinking about warding, and all my wards are good right now. There's space for an aggressive ward, and I know that because I've been fucking thinking. And then you gather all your fucking gaggle of giggles up, and then you pop that smoke and you use a scan. Use a fucking scan. Just use it. It's so fucking good. Holy, have you ever used a scan in your life, Beedub?
Yeah.
Good. Great.
Who'd you
Keep
think
doing
I
it.
am?
It's the best. Me, because I just never scan. I just let other people do it. But I started to, and now I'm like, oh, this is good shit. Like when I started playing Anti-Mage, I would not started, but when he was like super dumb good, I would just scan every time I was pushing a tower. And then like, oh, someone TP behind the tower, I'll leave now. I know that for free because they just gave us scan like a year ago for no fucking reason, or like 2. But yeah, like use scan, get whatever information you can, and then smoke. And then, but like only when it's a good time. And you won't know if it's a good time if you're just jerking around trying to fucking kill a big purple satyr with your 40 damage auto attacks.
It's true.
Gotta strip naked, get on a rock, put your fist under your chin.
Okay.
Clench it.
Think about wards. Think about scans.
Think about wards. All you gotta do is think about wards. Just look at the map. You gotta just like, where? And then just keep doing it. Just keep saying that.
Actually,
to yourself.
thinking about wards, this is something that I always say I'm going to do, and I never do because I'll go.
I've noticed that.
Like, I'll be playing, and then I'll be in a game, and it's obvious that they have vision, right? And I'm like, where the hell is that? Like, where is that ward? I have no idea where that ward is. I put down a sentry, still can't find it. I'm like, where is this sneaky, like, where is this? And I'll go, I know what I'll do. When this game's over, I'm going to have a look where they put it. Do I ever do it? No.
Never in your life.
No. Never. I've never looked at a replay to see where they put their ward, even though I say it and think it all the time.
That's another thing. If you do that, like check replays or whatever, go just like watch the game on like really fast speed, and then just like be watching their 5 the whole game, like put on player perspective of their 5s, and just like watch the places they find a ward, because they're gonna be fucking cool. Like high level players have, because obviously like I'm gonna deward the Spire. I'm gonna do that every time. I'm gonna deward like my high ground. I'm gonna do that, or wherever. I'm gonna deward the Radiant Jungle every time because there's always a ward there. But good players, they're like, I'm not going to do the obvious ward spot because I'm a talented Dota player. And so then you find cool ward spots, and those are probably the ones that confound you.
Yeah, it's true.
Then you'll have this like greater knowledge of warding, and then everything will be like, whoa.
I hope so. That's the...
Whoa.
Yeah, I think that's
the aim.
That is the aim.
Yeah. What carry should you play?
I don't know.
We're at an hour. Do you have anything more about these questions? Oh, also high grounding, like same shit. Just kind of hang around with people once you see it's a good, like you look at the map and you kind of figure out, okay, this hero is going to be here. And like, let's say they show 3 heroes bottom or something, and then you see 1 hero like top or something. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, let's just smoke and go here. And that's a pretty obvious thing, but Or, you know, if you see, oh, they have an Invoker and a Faceless Void in the same spot, there's no reason for them to be in the same place unless they're either going to push or they're going to smoke. So either way, we should, like, position defensively or just, like, really hard split push the place where they are not. Because people always smoke into your territory, right? So if they're together, they're either going to push into your territory or smoke into your territory. And the answer to that is, okay, we're just going to push really hard on the opposite side of the map into their territory, and we'll dodge each other. Or we'll just, you know, position defensively and, you know, beat the shit out of their smoke or their push. So that's two other things.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, I mean, yeah, the time when you high ground and the time when you're done killing tier 1 towers, it's the same concept. Like, just position yourself in between cores, wait for an opportunity, stare at the fucking map, don't stare at the 40 damage you're doing to that purple satyr, and fucking find a smoke or just find a way to get a kill, or just, you know, sit behind your dumb idiot children and wait for something cool to happen.
Yeah. Actually, that's something I've definitely been doing since the last episode, is not kind of like, don't go warding really by myself. Like, always ward after like a good team fight. Like, that's the only kind of like safe way to get deep wards down. Like, don't go, oh, I think I can wander in here and then die, because that's just dumb. And like, just,
and they'll probably see you if you do that too. Like,
and just like,
okay, why is this witch doctor in my jungle next to my tier 2? Like, what possibly could be happening here? Yeah. And like, just staying near your carry, because then, you know, team fights would break out, and then I'd be like, oh no, I'm not there. Which is, I'm warding.
I'm just
looking for when a team fight is going to start happening.
Just running across the map, going, I'm on my way, and then then it's over, and then you're just the only one alive, and everyone's like, why weren't you there? And it's like, I don't know. Why?
Fucking time just happened that way. I was here and then something else happened. I can't control shit. No fucking control over my future. I just made a decision and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Side note, to never be in those situations, literally never use a TP scroll. Don't use them. Stop using TP scrolls. Unless a team fight's about to happen, then you can use a TP scroll. But like, let's say you die. I mean, if this is like, you know, 1 minute into the game and you die, yes, TP back to lane. But like, if I'm a support and I die and it's like, you know, 3 minutes or something, it's not immediately important. If I TP to my safe lane carry, my mid is going to get ganked at 4 minutes, 20 seconds. And my TP might still be on cooldown for another 3. Or if it's 20 minutes into the game and I'm a carry and there's a bunch of farms somewhere and I TP there, like, I'm going to keep farming that lane up. And then my whole, like, I'm just going to, you know, like, let's say there's a big wave top lane fighting our tier 2. I'm going to TP the tier 2. I'm going to run up. I'm going to Battle Fury, kill the shit out of that wave. And then I'm going to get another wave and then another wave. And there's already been a team fight bottom, but I didn't have a TP and I pinged the cooldown, so it wasn't my fault. But no, like, you didn't have to fucking use a TP. Don't use TPs. Don't ever use a fucking TP. Never do it. It's hard, but you can't.
Like that. Like,
I've stopped using TP and it helps.
It should be like one of those things which you just kind of know. But like, I've never thought about not using a TP. Like, that is actually like amazing. Like, I don't know if it's like the smallest detail, but like, there are so many times, especially recently, where I've just like feel like I'm just spam pinging, just, you know, oh, my TP's on cooldown. But like, the reason that I'm not able to be wherever, like, not able to use it is because, you know, I used it in a non-urgent situation, going from fountain to somewhere to do what? I don't know, stand there like by my carry, and that's
sit
it.
Behind
like,
your carry.
And then when actually something happens, I'm like, oh, well, you know, I use my TP to go sit behind my carry. That's actually like an amazing piece of advice.
Yeah, that was
I
that was
feel a
going to
little
be
bit
our,
like
our
mind
TCT
blown.
segment. Yeah, that was a big, because I mean, you have that reaction because TPs used to be like have a 50-second cooldown, and it was just like, oh, people just use TPs all the time, but they made them 80 seconds. Like that's like longer than your ultimate. That's not good. Like, just imagine every time you use a TP, like, I don't have my ultimate anymore. Like, that's like, fuck. That's bad. So yeah, the only time you use a TP is like if you go to, the only time to use a TP is if you know for a fact that you aren't going to need it in the next 80 seconds. And the only situations those are if you're a core who is in their own lane or like going back to their own lane in the early game, or if you are going to a push where if it fails, I'm dead for the next 80 seconds anyways. But beyond that, like, don't use it. You need it.
That's so wise.
Thank you. I that's how I often think of myself. I'm very wise. All right, we need to figure out what carry you're gonna play still.
Yeah, it's true.
I said we'd do that later, but that's too long to wait. What do you? And like PA still exists.
Yeah.
Are there any cool fellows that you've had your eye on? I mean, Luna's always good. She's dumb strong right now.
Yeah, I think Luna's all right. It's just a lot of like farming, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a lot of what just carry is, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of swords flying around.
I don't know why I said it like that, like really negative, like, oh yeah, Luna, a lot of farming, not for me.
Yeah, but I'm very interested in Safelane carry, but just this farming aspect could care less.
I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know. I think like Luna's one that like I'm not particularly like excited about it.
Yeah,
but like,
no, I definitely.
But
understand.
I don't really know why that is, because I've had some fun times the occasional time that I do play her. Monkey King carry is still really fun. Is that still okay?
Yeah, you definitely go Battle Fury every game now. But yeah, I
Monkey
think it's
King
still
is
good.
like so much fun. Honestly, like that's maybe like the funnest heroes I've ever played.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you can keep going with the Monkey King. The main build I go now is like Treads, Battle Fury. I think I still basically just go like Echo BKB. I think I might be going Echo BKB Scotty right now pretty often, and that's really strong because you just keep slowing them like a motherfucker. They never get away from you, and your ulti slows too. And then after that, get Deso or Butterfly or something. Yeah. Butterfly is normally really good, but yeah, like I don't go super hard into the minus armor because Deso's just not that strong.
Okay.
But yeah. It's good stuff. And his 25 with the extra command ring is so fucking good.
It's so much fun.
I just walk up to high ground and I'm like, this is my base now. It's for me. This is Monkey Land. Population monkeys.
It's so good. What other carries? I had like a quick like dabble with Terrorblade for a while. Well, I say for a while. It probably wasn't very long, but Terrorblade's
You always seemed like your number two.
I like Terrorblade. I find so it either seems to go like well, or I just can't seem to get Sunder off ever. And then I get flamed for him. Maybe I'm a little bit burned. Actually, I'm not really sure when the last time I played it. That might have been the last time I played it, actually, where I got flamed for, did you even get a Sunder off this game? Ugh. And I was like, no.
Do you build BKB on him?
Yes. I mean, I played him when was the last time I played Terrorblade? A while ago.
It depends. If you've been under too much of fucking Sam's influence, you might not build battle BKB on Terrorblade like a fucking heathen.
I can't even find the last time. This is like getting into like 2 months ago territory. What's happened?
Goodness gracious me, oh my.
I know. Yeah. Terrorblade, I don't know. What do you think? Good? Not good? Maybe I should focus on other people. Lot,
but he's more of like a situational hero. Like if the enemy team ever picks Luna, and especially if they pick Luna Shadow Demon, I pick Terrorblade every time because then I get my own Luna illusions that bounce their glaives around everywhere, which is very good. Especially if she pops Manta, and then like my illusions just shred her and her illusions. It's amazing. But like unless it's things that are really good to use reflection on, I'm not too hype on him. Like he's good, but he requires like if you really wanted to play him well, like I would want to like sit down with you like in a game for some amount of time and just like make sure that you know all like the optimal farming shits and you have your your keybinds all set up and whatever.
Yeah, like this is the thing. Like I think he's fun to play in, and I'd really love to know how to play him like properly. But I'm not sure whether he's still a little bit too like advanced because he has lots of like illusions and stuff, and I'm not that good at controlling multiple people.
Yeah, I mean he's a good person to like learn that on you. It's not like Lone Druid where you're like frantic the entire time. Like the main way that I use Terrorblade illusions is early game I use them as like an extra quelling blade. Like I just control myself as a Terrorblade and illusion, and I have a quelling blade also because it's a good item. And then I just like last hit with that as well, and I now do like 30% or 30 more damage every last hit, which is really good. So I last hit for 100 or something, which is much better than the 60 or whatever. But yeah, so I use it for that. And then as far as farming goes, early on I use them to tank, and then I pull them away when they almost die. And that's not like crazy micro, because I mean, all you need to do when you're farming creep camps is you select your unit and then like click the ground near them, and then they'll figure it out. And like, oh, my illusion's low, click it, move it back. I don't need to be microing my hero during that. And then once you get really, really strong to your point where your illusions can finish camps on their own, that's when it gets a bit harder, because that's when I'm like, I'll be farming the jungle with Terrorblade, and then every time I summon illusion, I'll maybe send it to like the small camp or something, or whatever, or I'll send it up a lane or something. Mm-hmm. And if I'm really good, I will be microing it and last hitting with it in lane, while Terrorblade is just like auto attacking creeps, and that's like the difficult shit that I wouldn't worry too much about doing. But
do you have like a different? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
I was gonna say, like, do you have a different keybind for each illusion?
You can only keybind types of illusions, not individuals. I would love to do that.
Yeah,
but,
I was going to say, like, I'm not really sure how this works, because the way I've been doing it is, like, selecting all by pressing D, telling them to go do something, and then selecting me back.
Yeah, so there's two ways I like to do this. Or rather, I have, like, 3 keybinds on Terrorblade. So my default on my keybinds is there's one button that's select all other units, and that's very helpful for, like, if I'm playing Witch Doctor and I get an illusion rune. I don't fucking have keybinds for illusions on Witch Doctor. I don't have that. But if I have all other units, like, okay, I'll just like press that and click up a lane, and my Witch Doctor illusions will do things.
Okay.
So on Terrorblade, that's how I select all my illusions. I have my Manta illusions are bound to 4. And then my little Terrorblade illusions are bound to 2. So like Manta illusions go away pretty quickly, right? Yeah.
I see. I see what you mean by like the type of illusion. Okay, interesting.
There's source, and then I have like all of my shit, like all my mantas and my own illusions, and even illusion rune. I think I probably have set that up at least in one game, and those things save over from game to game, which is very useful. And I have all of that bound to 3. So if like I want everything to do something, just like press 3 and then click, the ground somewhere, and they'll do it. Or press 3 and then click a building. And if let's say I'm chilling with my illusions and I want to send my mantas up a lane, and but I don't want it to fuck up the illusions that I already have killing a camp somewhere else, then I'll just, press 4 and tell my mantas to go there. And then also the other thing that's good is if you always do your commands as like clicking the ground somewhere. If you have an illusion that's like fighting a camp or a creep wave, it'll attack things until it gets there. So it'll finish its camp every time.
Okay, yeah.
And that's helpful. But yeah, like try to if you do want to do more Terrorblade-y stuff, I would emphasize on just trying to focus on the farming aspect of it, because fighting on Terrorblade is like you just get all your illusions and you right click people. Like it's not super crazy, and then BKB and try to get a Sunder off. But the biggest thing is like any amount of obstacles can always be overcome by just smashing your face against them by having more farm. No matter like if I have a fucking Scotty and I'm not supposed to have a Scotty, I'll win every fight. But if I don't have a Scotty, but I have really good micro, I can still lose. Like you're still gonna fucking die. Like a Finger of Death doesn't care how good you are at moving your illusions. You're just dead. Yeah. So yeah, just like try to just focus on like getting a bunch of farm. And the way you do that is always think like, what could I be doing with my illusions? Tanking with them, using them to help me last hit. And the easiest thing to do is like gain a kind of an understanding for how much your illusions can do. Like once you have Manta done, your illusions can pretty much kill. Each illusion can more or less kill like a hard camp. And then once you have like a Scotty done, each illusion, your illusions, 2 illusions can definitely kill ancients. One probably is pretty close. Also, it may die, right at the end or something like that. But like your illusions can kill ancients on their own, which is wild good. So like just once you start getting there, the easiest thing to do is just auto attack a wave or a creep camp a couple times. Press W, walk over to the next creep camp, let your illusion do it. No micro necessary. Your illusion just attacks on its own. And then every so often, like press the thing for all other units. Tilde is what I use, and then like click the enemies. A-click the enemies like Ancient. And all your illusions are just going to like run the shortest path to their Ancient and kill everything on the way, which often will involve a lane. And that's, pretty easy to micro. But yeah, just like drop illusions as you're walking. Your illusions can finish camps. Don't worry about it. And every so often tell them to go towards a lane and kill things.
Okay, cool.
That's like a pretty simple micro way to play Terrorblade.
Right.
And then you'll get more comfortable with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just like the key is practicing.
The only thing in terms of high grounding that I would really recommend on Terrorblade is like when you're starting to high ground, just like pop all your illusions up, A-click the tower, and then like keep selecting an individual one, and then just like move it to high ground and then tell it to attack the tower again. Then another one and move it to like the other side of high ground, tell it to attack the tower. And then you get like a nice concave of units.
Okay.
But it's not super micro oriented because you're just like, you go here.
Yeah.
And then you go here. And like it's not too crazy. You don't have to do it super fast either.
Okay.
And also like if you get interrupted in the middle of that, like whatever, it's better than, you being all grouped up. You press 3, you're selecting all your boys anyways.
Yep, true.
Okay.
All right. Just another quick thing.
Okay.
Wraith King as a safe lane carry, good.
I
okay,
love
not good.
my skeletal boys.
They're actually like maybe
them.
the best thing. Like I am so.
Oh yeah.
I am like obsessed with them. I feel like I'm a little.
I
bit...
felt robbed that Ursi got to answer that question with you because like I too am quite interested in my stupid dumb sons.
I just love just watching them run around. I feel like it's just too much fun though. Like, and I just don't pay attention to what I'm doing because I'm like, oh, look at them go. Oh, look at them trying to take ancients.
They're important. And you gotta protect them. They're important.
Yeah.
I think he's good. I do think he's good. There's a lot of games where he's bad, but the fact that you get the reincarnation no mana cost at level 20 means that even if you get counterpicked, all you have to do is make it to level 20 and it doesn't matter at all anymore, which is very good. Just be careful because he doesn't deal well with if he has to deal with illusions or needing to do any kind of AoE, anything that's not just like single target bearing down on someone. And if the enemy team like has stuff that you just need to like get through, like if they have something like a Tinker, Wraith King sucks because he uses all of his spells and he still has them.
Yeah.
But if they have a Faceless Void, he uses Chronosphere and you come back up. He doesn't have Chronosphere anymore. That's a good place to be. Mm-hmm. But if they have like fucking Tinker and Arc Warden and shit, like they're just gonna kill you again.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, so I mean he's game specific, but yeah, he's definitely really good. Maybe not really good, but he's good. I definitely liked him when the patch first came out.
Is Midas Radiant still the thing to do?
No. Midas sucks.
Okay.
Unless you're like a Midas hero. I played a game against a Midas Sven recently. Holy shit, what a fucking bad idea.
I've never seen
Yeah, Midas sucks. Neither have I, but it's a good way to get plus 25. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, a really good Wraith King build, if you feel up to it, is Mask of Madness Armlet. That is some solid shit. Like Mask, Armlet,
that sounds
Blink.
quite intense.
Yeah, and you just like fucking, you like blink, stun, and then you just fucking yell at them, and then they die, and you're just an insane monster of a Wraith King. But yeah, like Armlet's good, but you don't have to go Armlet. But yeah, like Radiance is cool.
Okay.
I would say try to go Mask of Madness on him because it's fucking great.
All right.
Some good shit.
Yeah.
He does more damage than you would think. Like every time I play Wraith King, I'm like, why is this guy? I have like 130 damage on him, but he's still like beating the shit out of this carry with way more farm than me. I'm like, how is this possible? How does my boy do so much damage? But he just does.
He's pretty
He just
fun.
wants it. Yes.
He's pretty fun. And like as
also,
like
the skeletons are good. They're good. You just got to use them right.
Would you use them like in a team fight or try to push?
Absolutely.
Or pushing down a lane?
That's the only time I use them.
Okay.
Yes, I use them like if I'm near a support and I pop them, and then like if you're a shadow, like let's say you're a shadow demon with like 5 little ankle biters on you, like what are you gonna do? They're gonna do half your health. Like there's just nothing you do about it. They can block arrows. They absorb fucking shit if they get targeted. They fuck up the enemy's pathing. Like they're great.
So
they need to be dealt with. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you can pop them if you want for, going down a lane, but really all that's going to happen is a Magnus is going to show up and then Shockwave, and they're all going to die.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Or they're going to try to fight Ancients because they're just so fucking brave. They can't help it.
All right, then. Okay.
Yeah, they're great. Never get the talents that buff them, though. Those talents are fucking worthless.
I did that on a... when I think that was the last time I streamed, actually, when I was still in Toronto. I was like maybe one of the... Yeah, I was just like just full of joy about the skeleton. So I just chose the talents for it, and it just had like
the skeleton damage. The damage might be good.
I mean, I lost, but
yeah, but the max skeletons is just like there is never a situation where I am auto attacking enough creeps that my fucking Mortal Strike is going to proc and give me a skeleton and have that happen more than 7 times, like within 20 minutes.
It was fun though.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, I mean, maybe get the damage. The damage is cool because it makes them do twice as much damage. Which,
I mean, that's pretty good.
Man,
that's pretty good.
But yeah, I think of them more like something free that you don't. There's no reason that you have it.
Yeah, true.
And just if you can eke any use out of it at all, you're doing good.
Okay.
So yeah, like use them in team fights. Maybe they do something. Maybe they don't. Who gives a shit? Use them.
Okay.
Cool.
All
right. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Didn't do ads again. I was supposed to stop somewhere in the middle.
Oh. Well, I guess it'll just be slotted in somewhere.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that again. Let's see. Where's this shit under? Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, all right. We'll deal with that. Okay, thanks for watching our show. I'm at Proud Dota. And
I'm at Ayup
B.
Beedub, AYUPBEEDUB.
Yes, that's the correct amount of E's.
Yeah.
And I don't know, dude. Fucking pay us money on Patreon. Fuck.
And send us questions.
Yeah, send us questions too at show@fourthspirit.com. Also, if we get a little more money in there, you're getting some Dark Souls stuff with some people, some humans, and we're gonna play some Dark Souls. I'm gonna yell at Sam and then show up in the game also because I can do that. And then
I mean, that sounds really fun.
It's gonna yell at him. It's gonna be great. And also we got cool Patreon rewards. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and give me money. Also, the other people get money too if you like them more than me. That's also something that happens. So thank you. And then also, great. Thanks to our sponsors who will have been talked about at this point by now. Okay. Anything else? Are we good?
We're good. What? Are we still recording?
Okay, well, yeah, I'll end it now.
Okay.
All right, bye.